Hey Brickheads, Scott from 36 Bricks here, taking a look at all my MOCs from 2021. Let's check it out. Alright guys, so although this is my current city, here I am going to be showcasing all of my 2021 MOCs. Super excited about the builds. I apologize for the video quality as it is archived footage, but let's check it out. Alright guys, so super excited about this build, Botcher's Buds, based on one of my previous supporters, Dion Botcher. Big proponent of a little smoke here and there, but I wanted to honor him with a nice dispensary and a nice build for supporting my channel and supporting me in my efforts to grow a channel, be a part of live streams and stuff like that. So I went ahead and built this dispensary. Really great build, has lots of details. As you can see here, we have a lot of bongs and pipes and all that kind of fun stuff. Added a few Easter eggs as far as minifigures in there. We have Fat Thor in there with Krog, which is a lot of fun. Second floor is the lab where the oils are made and the buds are tested to make sure they're all good. So pretty happy about that. And then of course you have your growery, or the rooftop garden growery, which I'm pretty excited for as well. So hope you guys like that build. On to the next one. Another MOC that I did was Cards for Dayz. Now this is after one of my biggest supporters, who has been a longtime supporter since the channel opened. He is a big collectible guy, loves card games and all of that. So I went ahead and did a build based on his likes and passions. So I went ahead and built this. First floor is of course like a comic book store that sells cards. Second floor being a meeting room, and then the top floor like a museum. Super excited about this build. I felt like it matched the dispensary next door very well, and it came out pretty good. I like it. Alright guys, so here's a quick showcase. I went ahead and combined two Diagon Alley sets to make each and every build a full modular. Some might call this a MOC, some might call this a mod. I consider it a MOC because I changed more than 50% of the build. I went ahead and extended everything out, tiled everything, added a lot of details. I really do encourage you to take a look at this video because there is a lot of details in all four builds that I think you're really gonna like. I love them. Thanks for liking the build. Keeping with the Harry Potter theme, the next build is Honeydukes. I made it a full modular based on the set, combined a couple of the sets, which included Honeydukes and the 3 broomsticks, and made them full modular builds. So I made sure that the first floor is the store and built that out, and then the second is storage. So here we have the 3 broomsticks. I know it's going really quickly, but the first floor, I really love how this turned out. I decided to go with an inset corner build to give it a little bit of oomph. First floor, of course, is the bar itself. Everybody hanging out with a few cameos there, which I really love. Second floor, I decided to do a card gaming center where people are, gambling and having fun and all that kind of fun stuff. And then, of course, the third floor is where all the storage is, all the cups are stored, and all that kind of fun stuff. Here we have the Seinfeld Comedy Club and Apartments. So the first floor is the comedy store itself. It's a nice showcase. It has some posters on the side of the builds. It also has some posters in the build itself, along with a comedy stage, comedy club, a green room in the back, and of course a bar, because you got to have a bar. Added some really nice details. Strongly encourage you guys to go check these out in the video. But really loved how this turned out. Turned out really great. Now, of course, the second floor and the above floors are going to be the apartments themselves. I went ahead and took a couple of the Seinfeld sets. I pretty much duplicated the entire thing all the way up, just adding a few little tweaks here and there. And then I did do some research to see what the rooms looked like on the inside. So really excited about this build. I do find that the comedy club aspect does add a nice little touch. I know the jazz club came out, but it's kind of a little bit of a different feel, so I really liked how that turned out. Of course, one of the rooms is vacant, so it is up for grabs, but the others have a lot of the other details that went into the build. I did have to watch the show a couple times just to kind of see some of the stuff that they had, but rather excited about the build and love that it's a part of my city. Here is another amazing build, 2 full base plates, and I went ahead and combined a couple of the Haunted Mansion sets to make a full church. I am a wedding photographer by trade, so I wanted to incorporate that into my my city. As you can see, there is a wedding going on with Dumbledore as the officiant. You have some nice minifigures and singing up top with the organist, and then of course you have the paint glass and all that kind of fun stuff. Really like the build, really enjoy it, a part of my city. Definitely have to have a graveyard as part of your city along to go with a church. So went ahead with a haunted themed graveyard. Have a nice little fountain as you walk into the graveyard. You have some grave diggers digging up a grave. You have a nice owl with overlook of the mausoleum. And then on the interior of the mausoleum, it is kind of empty at the moment. So I just did details around the side, did details on the roof, and really love how it is incorporated in my city. Another amazing build I love is doubling up the Daily Bugle. Now, in most cases, a lot of people are going to say, oh, that's a mod. Some people would call it a MOC, but it's up to you. I'll let you decide. Let me know in the comments below what you think these are. But here you have the Daily Bugle. I went ahead and combined 2 of them along with some of my parts. Now, the second floor I do have as a full circle monorail, but I did go ahead and change that later on in the build to have it go in one side and out the other, which I may have to change as well because it is a little awkward. I do have a new monorail system that I am working on, so if that works out, I may not have to change that. So we'll see how it goes. But on the interior, basic floor on the first floor, same as what you would see in the build. I went ahead and added a newsstand, so if people want to go in and get some papers, they can. Here you can see the monorail going around in circles. It just, I couldn't get what I wanted as far as how it looked, so I went ahead and took it out and made it straightforward through. And I also changed up the where the elevator and everything. As you can see, that is where the area for people running the trains and the train station are, the security cameras and all that. So that's that building. Third floor being another news office. It is pretty blank as there are not minifigures in it. I still have to add those in even after so long. Definitely wanted to incorporate and give the same feel, so I incorporated those boxes and the storage area into the Peter's kind of office. And then of course you have J. Jonah Jameson's office with the secretary and his office in general. Really like this build. Again, looking back at it, I could tweak a few things. Did make the sign a little bit bigger and incorporated a few other aspects into it, but I really do love how it turned out. It is definitely a staple in my city, along with some of my other builds, and I wouldn't get rid of it for the world. So hope you guys like the build. I have a lot of parts left over, but it was all in good fun. Next build on the list is the 4-story surf and gun shop with apartments. I combined a few of the Creator 3-in-1 sets to make a full, basically a full modular. Super excited about this build, as I really do feel it turned out. The only thing that I'm not too sure about is this fountain. It does look good, it's just real flat. I was kind of posing it as a kids play area, but I think that would be better suited in a park than in the quad like that. On the first side, or the one side, you have games and weapons, or basically a gun store. Really loved how that turned out. I do feel like the walls are a little bare as far as behind the sabers, but if those are truly on, they would burn any kind of paintings or whatever down. So I also added an ATM machine in the middle. Super excited about how that turned out. And then of course we have the surf shop. So I added a bunch of surfboards along the wall just to give it that extra surf feel. And then we have some scuba or wetsuits. We have some people shopping. Then in the upper floors, it is a full apartment complex. I think I do need to go back and tile all of the flooring a little bit, probably make the flooring a little bit secure, but I actually love the interior angle of the build. I also want to go back and add just an elevator instead of the stairwell. The stairwell was a little bit awkward, so I ended up taking that out, but I think I need to go in and actually add some elevators. I think it would actually really add a lot to the build. All of the floors, of course, have bathrooms. I pride myself on including those, since LEGO tends to not do so. You have the different rooms in each of the floor, kind of smaller rooms, so they're kids' bedrooms. You have a living room with TV and all that, and then, of course, everyone has a kitchen. So, pretty excited about the build. There are no showers or tubs in the builds, unfortunately, because of space. I may tweak that a little bit, but overall, I really love this as part of my city. Alright guys, on to Police 1.0 or 2.0, not exactly sure. 2 full base plates, 3 floors tall on one side and 4 on the other. First building on the right hand side basically was the office building. It was the housing and intake department, where you got fingerprinted pictures taken, stuff like that. Then going up to the second floor, I went ahead and added a courthouse or a courtroom. Thought that was pretty cool. Then also going up to the remaining floor, you had essentially where the cops met to discuss information. I had a dispatch center up there and a little kitchenette. Super excited about the build. The next build, it also had a helicopter landing pad. The other side had a nice garage that housed all my cop cars. Second floor was a cell block with bathrooms and stuff like that all throughout. And then the third floor was empty, and then the fourth floor I actually had as the helicopter command center. So pretty excited about that. Turned out pretty good. However, I did take it down because soon after the official police station modular came out, and I redid the entire thing. So 4 total base plates. First floor is basically the same as the original build. I just expanded it. I put 2 housing cells on each side, and then of course we have the garage, we have a gun range, we have a storage facility for the guys' personal stuff and all of that. We also had a gun cage and a gun range. Super excited to have that. The second floor, of course, had again some of the same details as before. However, on the opposite side, it has the room for cops to discuss information, as well as a science lab to do investigations. So that was super fun to add and explore. Then the third floor, of course, we had on the one side of the building, we had the same information or same stuff as the build itself, but then as you go back, I did include a cell block. I have my dispatch center, and all of that with some hidden gems. Pretty cool. I really loved this build. It turned out really well. And then of course the top floor is the chief's office with another helicopter pad. Alright, so with the original police station build, it did have a donut shop. Went ahead and made that a 16 by 32 build. Super excited to have that as part of my city. And what I actually did was I combined it with the assembly square build. So really excited about how that turned out. The first floor, again, is the donut shop. Made it a full build in there. Extended out the details, added some other details, stuff like that. The second floor is essentially where the donuts were made, or the batter for the donuts, and you can see it kind of running down the wall via the conveyor belt. So that was pretty cool. Really loved how that turned out. Here you have the the kitchenette and how it all looks and stuff like that. Made it only 2 floors, and then I put the donut shop symbol on the top for a donut, and there you have it. Now, of course, with a city must have a hospital, so I went ahead and built out a hospital. This is my 5th version of the hospital. I've done this multiple times, and it never quite fit well with my city. I just, some things I didn't like. It was just either too open or it didn't look realistic. But in this particular build, the moment you walk in, you have the foyer. To one side, you have a little market. And then, of course, you have the ambulance intake area where they drive in, drop off the patients, and then head out. There are elevator facades, but overall it's pretty short, simple, to the point. Don't really have a whole lot of details left. I have taken this apart. I did add quite a few details here and there, but I did take it apart. This section here, you have a baby or maternity ward where you have all the babies. I went ahead and changed some aspects of this later on. However, again, I did take it apart and it doesn't exist anymore, as I do plan on building a newer, bigger version of it. The other side was blank. Now, the third floor, of course, is the ER and all of that fun stuff. Basically, all the operating rooms. I loved how certain aspects came out, but I didn't really love all of them. Now in the other section, it is a lab, and then of course Dr. Strange's teleport. I wanted to add that in as a nice little nod to Dr. Strange, as I'm a Marvel fan. Definitely working out some of the details for that. And then the top floor is essentially just a housing, empty shell. I threw all the babies in there and all the minifigures and all the other parts that I collected. Ultimately, again, I wasn't just all that excited about the build after it was all said and done, but it did look good. Next stop, train station or subway station. So went ahead and made 2 of these. This is the first station, and it's basically a pizza parlor and a subway on one side, and then on the other side it is just a standalone. I did modify this and change it up later to have everything on the one side. And then of course, as you get into the build, you will also see that there is a nice nod to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and it does house their base. I again did modify this a little bit because it just made it simpler. This is currently not in my city. It is on current display at every event that I attend and display at, but I do like how it turned out. I do want to make some additional changes because it is hard to see some of the doors and the aspects of it, but I really do love how it turned out. I incorporated all the Ninja Turtles and all those details that I really love. Second stop on the subway tour and final stop is the other subway station. Now I went ahead and bought some of the posters online and added those into the build. I do plan on changing those out at some point. Did include a newsstand and a juice bar. Again, I did tweak this and move things around a little bit so it was easier to see, and it is again a permanent display on every event that I do. Now I'm going to tell you how to get to Sesame Street. So this build, I really was excited. I didn't really watch Sesame Street growing up, but when they came out with this set, I felt it was definitely going to be a part of my city. So I went ahead and combined a couple of them and incorporated the build. Kept the overall essence of the build, just made it a little bit bigger on the outside. Added a few more details and rooms on the inside to make full apartments and kitchens and all of that kind of fun stuff. I did add a few nods of my own in regards to hidden gems. I had some fun on the roof where I made some of the apartment, people that live in the apartment, they're making moonshine on the roof, and Cookie Monster definitely is cooking up some edibles from the dispensary stuff that he purchased. But overall, it was super fun. I do need to go back and add a little bit more details here and there, but again, I did have a lot of fun with the build. It was a great build, great techniques. All aspects of it was a lot of fun to build, and I built it all online, or live stream, so it was a lot of fun to build. Pigsy's Barbecue Restaurant. So another fun build. I took the Monkey Kid set, the Pigsy's Barbecue food truck, and turned it into a restaurant. So have the pig. I added the kitchen rooftop, or the rooftop kitchen with a little dining area. Second floor is more of a dining room area. Just wanted to add that little feel and those little stories of, a guy waiting his lifetime for a meal. And I overall just had a lot of fun with it. I may tweak it in the future, but all in all, good fun. Alright guys, so I had a few of the pet shop store or modulars available for me, so I went ahead and made that a full modular building. However, I turned it into a sports equipment shop called The Slope. And I really had a lot of fun with it, added a lot of details from a lot of sets. Now, I did add some apartment details, stuff like that. I do need to tile them out at some point, but I added those details in the second and third floor, and the build turned out to be a lot of fun. Really enjoyed the build, and I hope you guys enjoy it too. Alright guys, so this was a big fun. It's a winter park display, and what I mean by display is this was actually displayed at the Lego store for a couple months at my local Lego store. It was a lot of fun. I took a couple of the bonsai trees, made it into a full park with a nice little fountain in the middle, people playing in the snow, and all around it was really, really great build. Definitely going to incorporate it into my winter village. Next up is the Town Hall expansion. So the original build is only 3 floors, and it is 1 full modular or base plate. I went ahead and extended it, made it 2 full base plates, had a lot of fun with it. Made the first floor, the 2 side builds or side areas, courthouses, and really just expanded it out and had a good time with it. I felt like it was missing a little bit from the original build and just wanted to expand on it. So as you see here, the initial build is pretty much the same, but then I have the 2 courthouses on the sides. Do need to add a couple minifigures here and there. Second floor is just basically office buildings. Went ahead and expanded that. Added some bathrooms and some cubicles and all that kind of fun stuff. So had fun with that. Next floor, I essentially just made into vending machine room, and then the 4th floor I went ahead and added as a meeting room. So hopefully you guys like the expansion. I certainly do. Last but certainly not least, my Stark Tower 2.0. So I went ahead and did a full modular building, and then I decided it was too small. Then I went ahead and expanded on it and just made it a heck of a lot bigger. So pretty excited about how this turned out. I went ahead and had the monorail go through the 2nd floor, just like I did with the Daily Bugle. Added a lot of details. I made those shelving units so you can easily pop those out. Had this on display for certain events that I would do periodically, which was a lot of fun. However, right now it has actually taken apart. It kind of smashed to pieces a little bit in a bin as I was taking it around to the different shows. And I, of course, had the minifigures on display. I actually have a lot more minifigures than is shown here. I went ahead and expanded that section because as they come out with more sets, I get more minifigures. I will also be adding instead of a Hall of Armor, a Hall of Shame or Charmer, because I do have some non or custom Iron Man outfits. So I will be honest in saying I wasn't exactly a fan of the top section of the build. As you guys know, they do have a new Lego Avengers Tower that just came out not too long ago, and I really like the build. I just feel like it's very narrow and small. So I do plan on most likely combining the two, as I want to incorporate some of the details that I have in this build into that other build. I'm definitely going to be comparing the two builds and going from there. So all in all, the build actually turned out pretty good. I really like how it turned out. It's just that top section I just was not a fan of, but I do like how the new Avengers Tower looks. It definitely encompasses what I thought it should, and it just is a lackluster as far as it being very narrow. I want to expand on it and make it bigger for sure, and I also feel like the details in the current Avengers Tower are a little lackluster, so definitely want to change that up and add to it. It's fun to actually look back at these videos and see how I've changed, and how some of my builds have changed, and how my room itself has changed. So that's kind of fun to see. But overall, going back to this particular build, it did stem just about 4 feet tall. I will probably keep that measurement, as it still towers above most of my builds, and quite honestly, I don't need it to go much longer. I'm not compensating for something else, and that's just my personal thoughts. So hope you guys like that build. Hopefully you guys like these videos in general. I will be taking a look back at all of my builds in the last couple years, so super excited to share that and showcase that, and hope you guys like this kind of stuff. Please comment below, like, share, and subscribe if you like my content and want more. Please consider joining one of my memberships, as every little bit helps and goes right back into the channel. Hope to see you next time, guys, and thanks for watching. Ooh, this one's cool. Check this one out. I agree, that one's cool, but this one's awesome. Ooh, I like this one. I just can't stop watching. Well, I like them all, and I'm gonna subscribe. Can you do the same? Please like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time on 36 Bricks.